Peace everybody, what's good? It's your man Willie Green. We're here in my studio at the Greenhouse, and thanks to the good folks at Sonic Scoop, we're playing with some new toys today. We're checking out the Timeless 3 delay plugin from FabFilter. Let's crack that thing open, see what it does. Got a record up. This is a project I'm working on with my man Mikal Amin. This song is called Dark Web. We're gonna really look at the first verse. This is about this delay plugin. I'm going to play just a little bit of what we're doing, and we'll dive in and see what kind of sauce we're putting on.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship. They on it, no gauntlet, took your ID and a snap.
All right, so we got a little bit of that first verse. You know, Mikal's got bars, it's sounding crazy. But you can hear we got a little bit of texture, a little finesse going on in the vocals, and that's coming from Timeless 3. So let's just do a quick tour through the plugin. Let's take a quick look at Timeless and see what we're dealing with. Top left, we'll start over here, and this is just showing us our taps and our delay. That's each echo that's ringing out. We can click on taps, we can zone in on the first one, and we can adjust the level of it, the pan of it, and then for all the following delays. Over here on the right side, we've got an EQ curve. If you're familiar with FabFilter, you're familiar with the Pro Q3, this is derived from that. You know FabFilter does a great job with the EQs, so if it's in their software, you know it's cracking. Now, down here on this row right here, this is where we start to get into all the different tone shaping, all the different finesse stuff. Starting here on the left, that's the drive, that's the saturation. If it sounds a little too clean for you, you got to put a little funkiness on it, a little bit of crust on it. You want to go to this drive knob. Similar to that is the lo-fi knob right next door. And what that's doing is that's going to start a little bit of bit reduction. It's going to adjust the sample rate and it's going to crunch it up. It's a little bit of a different vibe than the drive, but it's another just tone shaping thing for your delay sound. Diffuse right here, as you raise this parameter, it starts to blur the delay repeats a little bit. It starts to give them, you know, kind of a cloudy, more reverb type effect than just a very concrete, discrete repeat. So diffuse kind of softens them up and kind of clouds them out for you. Dynamics, this is really dope. A lot of times you may want to compress your delays to keep the ring out long. So if you move this knob to the right side, that's going to compress. And if you move this to the left side, then we're starting to get expansion and gating on that input signal to make sure that it's clean. So we're just delaying what we want to delay there. Here, the pitch shift, it does what it sounds like it's going to do. It's going to change the pitch of your repeats, of your delays, of your echoes. But there's a couple secret buttons here. Not secret, but they're small, so you got to look for them a little bit. This decouples the pitch shifting on the left and the right, and it mirrors it. So if the left is going up, the pitch on the right side will be going down, and vice versa. In little bits, that can be cool to kind of give you a feeling of width to your delay, or at higher amounts, just some real wonkiness, where you got one side up, one side down, and then we can do a little bit more with that to make it move and really dance. We'll come back to that. We'll look at it a little bit more. In the center here, this is where your basic major delay parameters are, like delay time. That's the first thing you're going to reach to set how long it is between your initial signal and your delay and however many taps after that. And then here we have the delay time pan. So all of your delays, all of your echoes can either be on the left or right, depending on where you want to put them. And this little button here, that's your freeze button. It takes whatever's in the delay buffer and it just repeats that. So if you want to do stutter effects, or if you want to take the frozen delay that's just repeating out and we want to modulate that or do something else to it, it just kind of holds that and keeps that rocking. Below that is the ping pong button. Ping pong delay, for those who may not know, a ping pong delay, it echoes on the left, it echoes on the right, or vice versa, and it goes back and forth between like a ping pong. So that's where you get that side to side movement. This button here is our delay sync. So right, you can set it for free and it will just be whatever delay time that you set it. Or you can set it to the grid, half note, quarter, eighth note, whatever's on your grid. We've got straight, dotted, and triplet as well. So any kind of delay time sync to your grid, you can easily get that. That's no problem. And then this button here is the hidden gem. Where this says tape, it's going to react like an analog tape delay, where if you change your delay time, the pitch of the echoes is going to change momentarily as if you were making an analog tape machine move faster or slower. Stretch is going to remove that pitch shifting effect, and it's just going to give us straight up repeats at that same pitch no matter what's going on with the time. If you're just working on a song that's at a consistent tempo, this may not come into too much factor after you set your initial delay time. But if you got something where maybe there are tempo changes, maybe the tempo is following a sample and it moves throughout, this will actually cause a little bit of pitch modulation if we set it on tape. Throughout the song, every tempo change, the pitch of the delay is going to momentarily change as it readjusts, and that might be a cool effect. We'll come back to that a little bit too. So right next door, we've got another major delay parameter, that's feedback. That's how many times the delay is going to echo out. Basically, it takes the output of the delay and it feeds it back to the input of the delay to run through again, multiplying the length of that second or third or fourth tap or however long it goes on. And the feedback is what's going to let that ring out. Above that, we have the feedback pan, and this is cool. So you can have your feedback as we pan it out. Watch the top left. As we pan that, our repeats can go from one side to another. So our first repeat, this one here, is going to stay center. But all the feedback after that is going to start drifting more and more to the left or to the right. So that's cool, where you can have the delay hit and ring, but kind of duck out of the way to the left or the right to let your vocal or whatever instrument you had that delay on not mask your repeat. So that's very cool. You can also, on either side, you can change the polarity on your repeats. So you can get some cool phasey, cool kind of atmospheric things. That works best kind of at shorter delay times. But as they phase and they start to interact with one another, you start getting some cool vibey stuff in there. Next door to that, we've got the crossover. So that if you got a wide stereo delay, sometimes you may want it to kind of bleed to the other side a little bit. That keeps it from feeling super ultra wide and kind of gives a little rub, a little texture on each side. And then here at the end, we've got width control, does what you think it's going to. We've got our wet dry level, so wet level all the way out. That's going to be our delay return as loud as it can be. And then we can pan that as well. And finally, at the end, we've got our mix slider, which is pretty common in any time-based effect, like a delay or like a reverb. And that's how much of the wet signal, the process signal, is mixed in with the dry signal. Now, for me, I usually use my time-based effects on a send. And so I generally keep it at fully wet. But if you have that as an insert on a channel, then that's where you would adjust the balance between the two. That's nice. That's enough talking. Let's make some noise. I know we got our bottom section down here, and we're going to look at that in a second because that's where it really gets funky. But let's just take a look at what this is doing on some vocals just as it is. If you know me, if you know how I mix, if you've seen any of my other videos, instead of using a reverb on a vocal, especially on a rap vocal, I'll use a short slap delay just to kind of imply some space without using a long reverb to take up all the actual space there. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to bring our feedback down. We don't need quite that much. And let's just take a second to listen to how this slap delay is sounding on Mikal's vocals.
And everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship.
That's a taste more than I would normally use, but to make sure that everybody can hear it, I have it cranked up a little bit. This is the kind of thing I would usually want a little more felt than heard, but for demonstration purposes, this is where we're at. So you can hear that, and that's just slapping back a little. I've got it kind of mono, not fully stereo. Let's widen that out a little bit. Let's get a little more space.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship. They on it and gauntlet, took your ID in a snap. No cap collecting stones where raccoons can bring it back. In fact, this is a free check like Mick Jack stealing Anthony for long. Off the drop, will take whatever off your back.
All right, so we can use our EQ section. You see I'm pulling down some of the mid-range. I want to let his vocals speak out and let the delay kind of live behind him. I don't want the mid-range too much in there where the presence in his voice is. But I want a little warmth there. We're just kind of sculpting it, you know? A lot of the things that I might do to a delay after the fact, like EQ or drive or any of that kind of stuff, I can do all that right inside Timeless. And so it's a time saver. You know, it makes it just real easy. It puts everything right there for me. And it looks good. I want to say shout out to FabFilter. I'm not super shallow, but when it comes to software, yeah, looks matter a little bit to me. You know, if I'm going to stare at something all day, if I'm going to sit here and squint at it and get deep down in there, I want it to look good. And FabFilter plugins always look good. So I appreciate y'all for that. But now let's play with some of these parameters. So that's cool. But you're like, Willie Green, that sounds like a delay. Like, that's fine. You're right. Right there, that's just delaying. It's just doing its thing. All right, so let's see what that drive knob is about. Let's get it grimy. Let's crunch it up a little bit, huh?
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship.
Yeah, so we're getting that crunch. That's a lot more present now. That's a lot fuller. Probably now a little loud, so we can compensate on the level. Let's bring that down some.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you
Oh, I like that though. I like that. Okay. Now I want to look at the pitch. So you'll see below here, I've got this slider. Okay. And we're going to, first I want to just do a little bit of pitch adjustment. And then we are going to look at that slider. So what I want to do, this top left, I want to do the mirroring on my left and right sides, right? So as I raise this, and let's just listen to just this slap delay for a second. Let's listen to just the output of the delay.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market.
So as I raise that pitch, the right side is going down, the left side is going up. It's pretty dramatic at that level, but that little bit, if we just do a little bit here.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market.
Now we're just getting some nice width on that.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship.
I took off that modulator down at the bottom because I want to start from scratch here. And I'm going to add in a new LFO. So at the bottom where it says add modulation, this is where we get real funky with things. This is where we get it real flavory. And I'm going to add, amongst our list of things, we're going to put an LFO in here. And I'm going to take the output of that LFO and I'm going to send it to the pitch. And now, we're going to slow that down, and we don't even need it that high. Just put a little bit of a wobble in there, and now let's listen. So we're still listening to the output. This is just the delay, not the dry signal.
Eyes are on the console, and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship.
So now, I've got a modulator, I've got an LFO in there that is controlling the pitch at whatever frequency, however fast I want it to go. I can make and control that pitch. I can pin that to an eighth note, a quarter note. Let's try this on the eighth note.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target.
That feels like a lot, but maybe you want to get seasick like that, right? The idea is just that the possibilities are there, right? Let's narrow this a little bit. Let's make it cool.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market.
Okay, so that's just the delay. Let's hear that in context with the vocal.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship. They on it, no gauntlet, took your ID in a snap. No cap collecting stones where raccoons can bring it back.
That's cool. That wave in there with the different stuff. We got the howling synth thing in there and the big drums. That little bit of movement now on that slap, that's nice. And we've got it driving a little bit. And for fun, let's hit it with the lo-fi too. Why not?
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what
Again, here's just the delay.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market.
And with everything.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship. They on it, no gauntlet, took your ID in a snap. No cap collecting stones where raccoons can bring it back. In fact,
that's cool. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that a lot. All right, so there's a few things we can do with the delay. But you know me, if one delay is good, 2 delays is probably better, right? Let's open up another one that we've got here, and we can look at a couple other things here. So this is just an 8th note, and this is just gonna, again, be on that lead vocal. I had it muted before because it's a little much, but let's open that up and let's see what it does.
eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gon'
So the first parameter we're going to look at here, and this is maybe a little much, but you know, I'm a little much, so that's fine. First, we can drag and drop to control any parameter. So the ducking is adjusting the wet level. When the input comes in, I do this a lot if I've got kind of a busy delay. I want it to duck under when there's input level, but when the voice stops, I want the delay to kind of open up and fill in that gap a little bit. Take a listen and you'll hear where it comes in between the pauses.
eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire,
It's a lot of delay. So I'm going to go ahead and crank this ducking here. So it's ducking as much as possible. Anytime the signal is going into the plugin, it's ducking everything down and it's letting off in those breaks.
eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire,
So we're getting those ins and outs and filling in some of those gaps here. But what we can also do, and this is a preset, so this comes with a lot of stuff on here, but I want to go back to the LFO a little bit. And yes, we know that this LFO, that this is an 8th note, but what I want to do, I want to adjust the delay time just so it wobbles a little bit, right? Now this might be better for like, I don't know, maybe a long guitar solo where you want a little bit of movement on there. It's harder for rap vocals, but I want the delay time to adjust dependent on this LFO. So it's based around 8th note, but it's kind of dancing around that 8th note center. So now we're getting a little bit what I call rhythmic dissonance, just a little bit of distortion in the time. Let's get it wobbly. Let's get it funky, right? Instead of stretch, we're going to put this on tape. So we're emulating the analog tape deal where the pitch is now going to waver a little bit as the plugin dances around that center 8th anchor. Let's hear just the delay.
eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship. They on it, no gauntlet, took your ID in a snap. No cap.
Okay, and now let's hear that with the vocal.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire, believe they gonna market. Secrets exposed, deposits stole, you claiming hardship. They on it, no gauntlet, took your ID in a snap. No cap collect.
All right, let's hear that in context.
Eyes are on the console and everyone's a target. Be careful what you share or bear inside the market. Cause if you laissez-faire,
And you can hear laissez, and it's changing as the delay time is slightly being altered. So just a little bit of rub in there, just a little bit of little bit of sauce. Now I have that muted. I muted the slap while it's with that because there's a lot of different delays going on. But you can kind of take your choices to what suits you. Like I said, everything here is under the hood. You can very much customize your LFOs. We have envelope followers. So you can really sculpt the shape of your repeats, the shape of your delays, and a lot of things that we might do in other plugins after a delay plugin to do all the fancy things and really fine tune the delay. Timeless 3 is all that built in. That's a time saver, that's a CPU saver. And again, it all looks good, so it's all under one umbrella and it's easy for you. So that's just a few things, a few examples of what you can do with Timeless 3. It's a wonderful sounding delay. It's a very flexible delay. It's an all-inclusive delay. It's got all the different features and parameters and modulators that you might need to go from just a regular old echo to a really special moment in your record. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for special moments. So again, my name is Willie Green. This is FabFilter's Timeless 3. We're here thanks to Sonic Scoop, and I'll see you all next time. That's what I know. Peace.